It's your girl, CYNETHA Jade, back at it with another live stream, you guys. Whew, I got on here way later than I planned. But here we are, we're doing it, okay, and I'm excited. So I'm just going to go ahead and start because I don't really even know who's up this late necessarily. So there's that. But you guys, as you trickle in, make yourselves comfortable, okay? You're welcome here. Now, we've got a lot to talk about because with this world card coming out, as well as that temperance energy basically simultaneously, okay, and leading to the Fool card and the Ace of Swords, you are really at a major pivot, or maybe I should say pivotal point. I have gone ahead and pulled most of the cards, you guys. So I do see that whomever I'm speaking to is definitely coming out as High Priestess, okay? Whether you're guy, girl, what have you. Love and Light Green Palace, welcome. And so the situation is you are feeling it, all right? Energy. Oh, you're talking to Fiona. Okay, no worries. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. So, you know, I get it. The current transits, right? Just astrologically, okay, is just enough to just make you kind of really get out of bed like this most mornings. I get that, all right? But we've got to talk because this runs a little bit more deeply, and this also has some part to play in your own level up regarding you to you, right? So you know how sometimes you guys, there's some aspects or storms that come and really they're born out of some outside source, okay, being projected onto you, onto your path perhaps, right? I'd like to say, well, I wouldn't like to say, but the thing is, it's one thing to just recognize that, but when you also see in the cards, you know, as a reader, that there are some aspects where this is self-induced, we really gotta talk, okay? Because again, you're coming out as High Priestess energy. The Hierophant backs you just on the other side of this card. All right, this is really talking about you are, I don't want to say too good, do I? But you are too much to be going through the too much, okay? If that makes sense to say. And really, I mean, this is a pretty good example, you know, pictorially here of what I'm maybe inartfully referencing at the moment. Now, I could be speaking to a Libra, a Gemini, Sagittarius, Capricorn, or Aries. There could be some significance to ice cream. Maybe recently had some, recently bought some. There could be some significance to um, being a, you know, maybe even called out as a time or two as being closed off emotionally, especially, you know, between you and your partner, if applicable. All right, you guys only take what resonates. Makes sense. And somebody could actually be quite athletic. Maybe you do currently play sports and or currently part of a team. Doesn't have to be the case. I just get, you know, whether you are Capricorn or not, collective member, you are definitely a hard worker. And Aries, here's the sitch. If you think that you don't have a tell when you are not telling the truth, you got another thing coming because I see it all over your face. Now let me stop. But it's coming out in the cards. I am just a messenger, by the way. So there's that. I didn't even make the cards. Go figure. But speaking of you guys, we are going to be using one of the new decks that your girl did make. Okay, I'm not really like all the way in love with this aesthetic. I mean, I love the back, right? Sparkly, it's green. You know, pretty fun and cool. But still working out the rest of the aesthetic. So I think we might be using another deck that I'm going to create probably tomorrow. We'll see. Gosh, I got a lot to do, but I'm excited to do it all. Tonight, you guys, basically we're going to be using that deck instead of the names chart placements deck, but it's got a little extra something to it. So I don't want to let the cat out of the bag as I pick up the deck and see one of the cats I'm referencing here. That's so funny. All right, so I won't say anything more about that one, but you guys, you're coming out high priestess energy, whether you're a guy, girl, what have you, right? You're coming out empath. Here's the sitch, though. We got to talk about it because you've got to sage your space. You could have recently had some dreams about a particular individual who maybe you really do lay claim to knowing and loving, right? But in reality is not giving that kind of good vibe energy, and instead, most assuredly, could be part and parcel of the psychic attacks that you've been undergoing. All right, this person could have a similar aesthetic to the one depicted here. Doesn't have to be the case, but interestingly enough, that is referencing the Knight of Wands and the Tarot, right? And that is inclusive of fire sign energy. Go figure. This person is causing you some form of negativity, all right, some form of psychic attack. And I do see you're being asked to keep, protection pouch on you. If you got one of those, you could include or create one that has black obsidian specifically. You're being asked to take a spiritual bath right now. I mean, in current energies, not right now. I don't know exactly why the channeling was exactly like that, but, maybe that is for one person here. But in particular, this person could, whether they're fire sign or not, be some form of competitor in the business world or in the industry, as it were. Irregardless of the type of industry, there's all kinds, right? So there's that. But somebody really cannot stand your grind, your hustle, your creative aspects. They're hating so much that you've got multiple cards coming out referable to just that. Haters gonna hate, okay? Could be some significance to light eyes here. Doesn't have to be the case. The situation is that you are most assuredly on your way to this 10 of Pentacles, if not already there. You are already spiritually wealthy, high ranked in the spiritual world, okay? Like, this is big time legit-ish, okay? And Lemurian blood ties as well. Somebody underestimated you. Wow, they effed up all the way, didn't they, when they did that one? Spirit's not happy. Your team's not happy. Of course, they're in love with you, right? Adore you, but not the situation that you're facing with these psychic attacks. This person or people, because we do have guy girl energy as well coming out here, referable to same, okay? Really could be somebody that you're just now getting confirmation that that is the case. They have been hating on you. They are your enemy. They're trying to disguise themselves as not those things. Whole time your intuition has been most assuredly picking up that they are those things, okay? So you're being asked to pick up your sword and act like you know here, priestess. You know too much not to know a lot, right? And you know enough to know better once you do know. Because let's be honest, how do you know something unless you know it, right? But now that you've got this confirmation here, Queenie, here, Priestess, okay? This could be about another female as well, you guys. If I'm just getting take what resonates, because the card did come out that you already know, most of you, who this person is, and you are being asked to utilize your intuition. Stop ignoring the obvious red flags here referable to this person, this energy, this entity. They are currently attempting to dig up dirt on you to use as blackmail. And they could be posting their social media posts, as subs towards you, your name, your branding, your business, your accuracy. All right. And this person got a damn STD. Okay. How are you going to have what the hell is a common infection? I mean, how is infection common for any one of us? Like, I'm so serious. I have questions, okay? Yikes. They could even be trying to project some form of infertility towards you here. This could be two people. This could be a man and a female. Because look at the way that is actually having both on this side of the scale, as it were. Not necessarily the case here. Oh, I see. There's two blue ones. So this could be two men or a guy and a girl. For those that resonate as having more than one suspected frenemy, hater. Okay. This could also be talking about family member. I saw family members come out as well. That reminds me. Yeah, you could be even asked to make a decision on the other side of this third eye awakening to really kind of X out some aspects of your family, familial connections, okay? Because interestingly enough, these cards fell on the Two of Swords, okay, after I had laid the spread out. But some of you, again, going back to this Eight of Swords, talking about the potentiality of self-imposed, restrictive type of energy, self-imposed conflict, okay? Some of you, maybe one of you, right? Hopefully not a lot, just saying, okay, if I do say so myself, are really actioning out as your own worst enemy in current energies right now, which is not helpful, in case you wondered and or didn't notice, okay? So some of you are causing most of your problems referable to this kind of weighty aspect of the psychic attacks, okay? Not saying that you're trying to literally sit there with yourself, your energy, your intuition, and attack you. But this does speak to the mental space, okay, which is connecting to intuition to some degree, right? And definitely connecting to Eight of Swords, self-imprisonment type of energy, okay? And so, you guys, you're powerful enough at this point, and you have been for quite some time, but seriously, like right now, you're powerful enough to self-sabotage. So much so that I do see that card coming out here with that Nine of Swords on the other side of that freaking Eight of Swords self-imposed inflicted energy, okay? So please be mindful not to create problems because you never need a problem, all right? So there's that. And also, if you have enough stimuli just in general course because you exist in this realm, in this world, as they say, with current events and all of that jazz, right? Do you really need to create a I mean, don't you have other stuff to do and focus on? Makes sense, okay? So, now that you know better, okay, you just do better. You don't have to beat yourself up. You don't have to be ashamed and attach guilt and waste time and energy, perhaps, doing all of that. Makes sense, you guys? So don't be that one. You guys are literally coming out as High Priestess energy. Let's not forget, whether you are guy, girl, what have you, we are talking energy. The energy of the High Priestess is it's insanely intuitive, extremely on point, turned on, always present, always being utilized, okay? So you're being asked to get to that root, that aspect of your core self, which ultimately really is including that higher self energy, mindset, and lifestyle, okay? And what I mean by that is if you know that every time you eat such and such, you've got to really have a talk with Satan in the bathroom afterwards, right? But because it's your favorite such and such, you, at this point of the Path Collective, you're being asked to really chew on the meat. Gone are the days where you're on the teat receiving milk, as it were, as if that's enough to sustain you. You are coming out highly ranked in the spiritual realm. That means you damn sure are connected to all aspects of divinity, which means that's a lot of power, which of course you could utilize with your free will as well to self-sabotage. You should not be that one because it's not the highest vibrational outcome. It's really stagnating your manifestation. And you could be seeing 111 in confirmation that this is your reading after you listen to this. We've got 49 coming out here, as well as 2020, which I feel like is a year of significance for all of us, most likely, right? As well as 999. And really, this is talking about the gateway that you, I don't want to make it like you've stumbled upon, but you have allowed yourselves to get to, all right? And this is why we see the world card energy coming out firstly, but we're also now understanding why we're seeing the temperance energy come out almost simultaneously with it, because you guys, there's some aspect of the mental space that you're allowing to kind of like really shake about, rock you to your core here. And this is big stuff we're talking about, because all of these numbers are angelic code connecting to new earth energy that is inclusive of all aspects of your manifestation that you desire and, dare I say, deserve, and more. So this is really, still, we're talking really big stuff, okay? You don't want to miss out on any of this. You don't want to, continue down the line of telling the universe that you don't want the very things that you're looking to receive, the very experiences and accomplishments, right? So, again, now that you know better, you what? Do better. And when you do that, you'll live better too, okay? So here's the stitch, you guys. If you're resonating with this so far, Priestess, right? You are being asked to high key check in with your body. The body's giving indicators as well, right? You know how we always talk about, look at those angel numbers, would ya? They really help round out the message. You know how I always say the divine universe is always speaking, whether or not you're listening is the question, okay? So same deal with the body. The body too is in its own way a universe of sorts, your very own. You might want to lay claim to, okay? Because you wouldn't want anything or anyone else doing it firstly, right? That's giving possession, makes sense. So there's that. But you guys, the body is definitely coded with indicators that really also assist us even in metaphysical aspects of our life, okay? Like, for instance, have you ever heard of anyone going to a doctor, and from one doctor to the next they're told, we don't really know exactly what's going on, our theory, we tested it out, it's not proving to be accurate, we can no longer help you, we suggest seeing doctor so and so, and and they pass you off. It's like passing the buck, right? And really, long story short, for some, maybe not all, and maybe not always is the case, but hear me out, okay? When you start to really kind of listen to your body and do some research, okay? Also, ask yourself some of those questions that maybe you've asked, the doctors, or should have asked the doctors, because quite frankly, again, at this point, you are coming out as High Priestess energy. You are really tapped in spite of current energies and aspects of current blockages, all right? So long story short, you get what I mean by asking that internal guidance, that inner voice. It's funny, this next card says, what has your inner voice been asking of you? Listen and act. Okay, so there's some sort of inner channeling, aka interconnectivity, that needs to be brought to the forward mental focus, perhaps. Maybe therein lies the blockage, is in the mental space. I'm not here to project that. I'm here to guide you into finding out what is factual. All right, so there's that. And I love this card. It says, life can be hard and life can be wonderful. Which will you focus on, collective, right? Because it really is what you make of it. So if what you make of it is self-sabotage, you're going to get the Nine of Swords coming out there, and your face is going to look like that on your best day. Who wants that? You know what I mean? Right? So now that you know better, okay, if you know you've got to, walk away from some people that you know and love, right? Because that is the most loving aspect or path or decision to make for you, then you got to make that decision. So now that you know what to do, you got to do it. Makes sense? And instead of being in that self-sabotage energy here, you guys, what you want to do instead is really ground yourselves even through aspects of affirmations, right? Like, it's like, okay, if you know that honestly, in your current energy, your current state, This is the best kind of selfie you can produce, because it's not showing even the half of what you feel like on the inside, right? Let's talk about it, because we got to talk about these things sometimes, because sometimes somebody's going through what makes sense, all right? You can start with the affirmations. My mind is calm and at ease. And transmute and alchemize that ish once you do it long enough. And the more you do it, the better you, or oh, excuse me, the more you do it, the faster you get at it. Just saying. So keep going, all right? Because there's no give up on the menu. It is only a thought, and thoughts can be changed, is what you can tell yourselves, collective, when you're going through some of that negative stinking thinking. It's like, oh my God, here's another round, right? Like, golly, I thought we were done for the day, right? Try again. Good things are coming my way is another good one. When you sound it out, okay, you're allowing not only the full understanding you would get anyways, right, from thinking it at a conscious level, you're also simultaneously soaking it into your ear gate. Okay? It sounds out into your atmosphere and assists you as well metaphysically. And you guys, we've got a meat suit, yes, but we've also got an emotional body, right? An auric field. Like, there's metaphysical aspects to our existence, even as the human-like being that we're presenting as, okay? And the more that you utilize your methods, and there's different strokes for different folks, I get that, right? Just like anywhere else. So you really do have to try, maybe try again, maybe try again differently. Okay. But once you guys figure out what works for you, whether it's tapping, whether it is, fire, flame meditation, whether it is, burning bowl ritual would perhaps be part of that. Of course, you've got the spiritual baths, the crystals, things like that. As long as you know that you understand that they work for you, you should be doing them to keep your energy cleansed, okay, away from lower dense vibrational energy, and so that you can remain in optimal functionality as that priestess energy. That's not me or anyone coming for you. It's just the most succinct way I can think in my current hour of the day or night here, to try to explain. And I'm mindful of the way that I speak, collective, because I'm not here to word curse, if that makes sense, okay? Let go of anger and welcome love and compassion, and love yourselves here, okay? So, again, still staying in line with that lifestyle of self love, self care. Okay. And you guys, sometimes when you do feel like, oh, you know what, I know I'm definitely connected, just for whatever reason, I just haven't really received as many messages, or for whatever reason, so and so on the other side of the veil that I know is connected to me at all times, just seems a little far away sometimes. And often it is because there is some aspects of the body that need to be enlightened, perhaps, right? Um, so there may be dietary changes that may need to even just temporarily be had, right? But I'm also getting that this should be kind of changes that you make to either include or clear away from your current lifestyle. Okay, this is giving like you're building your new earth pathway, as beautiful or not as your free will may dictate. But we're talking about this just the same because some of you, really, in spite of you intending to utilize your free will towards certain aspects of the path, towards certain beautification of same, towards certain manifestations, and really because you are double minded in your capability of seeing things through, it's creating blockages, it's creating stagnancy, it is keeping you stuck in the moments before life changing energy. All right. On the other side of this full card, again, like we've already stated, is the Ace of Swords. However, you don't get to that divine breakthrough assistance type of energy without doing your own part. If this full card energy remains stagnant, it's kind of like having the Wheel of Fortune stay stuck. Makes sense? And that's exactly why this is coming out. as well in your spread, particularly that Wheel of Fortune. It cannot move in a free flow state where all aspects of your manifestations are not only created but obtained unless and until you call judgment. Judgment on all aspects of your path, your connections, okay, yourselves. And judgment shouldn't really necessarily have stigma attached to it. Judgment really talks about, taking a good look, really evaluating in a thorough manner, right? This is like the hermit energy of decision making when you get judgment. It's like, okay, you're playing for keeps here. And what are you literally intending to keep? Your highest vibrational timeline, where your path is beautiful, where you're in that baseline energy of calm, peace, and serenity, right? Right, because that is why you came to New Earth energy, all right, to live and action that out, all right. Maybe for some of you, on top of it, to teach others how, okay. And really, it's a call to remembrance of the power that you already possess within, as well as your instant direct connectivity, to the power that is backing you. And by power, we're again speaking of that divinity. There is no severability. This next card states, I won't give up doing the things I'm passionate about because of others. So in spite of the haters, you understand that though the weapon may be formed, all right? And just like, the last channel upload states, and you guys, if you haven't checked that out yet, please do me a solid and check that out. But as that title states, though the black magic may be performed, it shall not prosper. Okay? So though the weapon may be formed, it shall not prosper. And though the black magic may be performed, it shall not prosper. You understand? So I get it. People are hating. They're on that haterade and Hennessy. And, right now, the interesting thing is about current energies, every hater is showing their arse. Quite frankly, it is almost like an appointed time. And again, going back to those transits, the recent eclipse energy, everything else with retrogrades, multiple, okay? But you can choose to combat and alchemize, again, through some of these affirmations, again, through some of these tweaks in perception, again, by trying new thoughts, by allowing other energy to come in and refusing energy that really is trying to linger. Make sense? Okay. I attract positive energies coming out. I have infinite potential to grow and improve. And that's exactly what you've been showing to that divinity that backs you. Okay. So, divinity that backs you is convinced. Now, what about the divinity within? Okay. I am capable of achieving inner peace. Yes, you are. What will you, though? Right? Just because, you could go to the state of Nebraska doesn't mean that you will, right? So, that is inclusive of anything. Just because you're capable of achieving inner peace doesn't necessarily mean you utilize your free will to will it out to be so, okay? And this is why they made cards about it. Eight of Swords, potentiality to be self-imposed completely and solely, okay? And the Nine of Swords, toxic trait could be referable to that self-sabotage, the double-mindedness, the fear, the imbalanced ego. This could be because you are a generational curse breaker with the family members coming out. So you could actually, on the other side of this awakening energy, this uploaded energy, this upgraded energy and or down, and or divine inspiration, okay? You are being asked to action out, to think outside of any box you've ever been in before. All right. And, the thing is, you'd love to think, off the cuff, oh, well, we're related. Blood's thicker than water. Of course, I'm rooting for you. Oftentimes, they're in your face telling you that, and behind the scenes, living out all aspects of everything else. Okay. And so you're being asked to call judgment. We started the channel originally for this particular session on the live stream Really talking about dismissing red flags. Could be inclusive of, family members too that you need to really kind of call judgment on, take a second look, because you can't just go, off the cuff. Blood is thicker than water. And so this person, these people, this group of individuals, enemies or not, are part and parcel of my lot in life. Who said that? And whoever actually had the audacity to speak that out, and with a straight face too, really has some gall. Okay, because that's a lie. It's a lie. You got to know enough to choose you at this point, collective. Okay, and it's not a call to be some sort of recluse. It's not a call to, have trust issues about other people because you can't control them. No, it's about protecting the divinity that you now know you are, that you possess, okay, and honoring the divinity that backs you so that you can actually action out other aspects of your soul contract that you came here to do. Again, some of you are here to teach others, in perhaps your craft, okay, perhaps in sharing the knowledge that you possess, okay. The divine is very strategic. This is why we don't always look alike. This is why we don't always like, or even believe the same things necessarily, okay? Because different strokes for different folks, and because you really can't box divinity into any one box. I mean, how would you try? That'd be fruitless, okay? I only compare myself to myself. You are your only competition if you find you should need any. You do have more than enough, okay? You've got to start out with having everything that you already are looking for already. And I know that that sounds illogical. I know it seems delusional, but it's very factual. It's very matter of factly stated. If you understand aspects of spiritual walls and principalities, here's the sitch. Even if you don't understand, you're dealing with them anyway, so you should. Okay? So if you have any questions about anything that you hear referenced and or channeled through the channel, please shoot your girl an email, because I'm not here to go down the rabbit hole at this late hour, if that makes sense. But I'm also not here to like cause any form of confusion. So just for clarity's sake, please, I'd rather you just send me an email just to make sure you're good on some aspects of the channeling and you understand, so that you can follow along and continue to advance in this, because that's why I'm here. Okay, in this moment all is well. And I love this particular card, you guys, because this is not only an affirmation, but it is really some aspect of truth that each and every one of us should intentionally intend to create. Okay, because if you don't, perhaps, right, we'll just talk about it, like what if, okay, since we were talking about what ifs earlier anyways, right, you could fall prey to a life that doesn't have much at all. Well, okay, if you don't truthfully understand that this is a possibility for you to stay in referable to truth. Okay, so what I mean is, like, if you are always a half glass, a glass half empty person, then you're always operating out of lack mentality, lack mindset. And so what you will almost assuredly, in some form of residual loop type of energy. So I say that to say why I'm saying the word always, because I'm not here to word curse, will always be asking for more lack of the universe, whether this is intentional or not. And this is why we talk about this so often. Because the more that you keep yourselves built up and your faith muscles about you, flexed and ready, you can really understand that in spite of aspects of, let's say, world events, okay, let's say aspects of the way that other people utilize their own free will, either towards you or against you, right? That you personally, you with you, okay, can wholeheartedly get to the truth of the matter, that in spite of that, in this moment, all is well, right? Maybe you don't know how you're going to pay a bill 3 days from now, right? But that's 3 days from now. And instead of going, I only have 3 days, which would be more like, okay, I don't have enough time. You're telling the universe, I don't have enough time. But the way that you phrase that out is, I only have 3 days, right? Instead, it would be a higher vibrational outcome for you to say, in this moment, all is well. And just to be grateful and attach that energy and that emotion to like really taking a sigh of relief. Instead of getting all, I only have 3 days. I only have 3 days. Right? Next thing you know, the universe is like, wow, you're having a crisis. Okay, here you go. Here's your crisis. Good job on you. That's what you wanted. It's like, what? Who asks for a crisis? But it goes back to, again, those spiritual law and principles. And it's like, that's how you really integrate with the universe or not. Okay. That's how you really co-create what you want with universal energies, or you create the opposite of what you want. Again, irregardless of your intention, it's really about your believability and your faith in the matter, in spite of your natural eyes being able to lay, um, hold on, in spite of you not being able to lay your natural eyes on some tangibility of that truth. Excuse me. Okay? Gosh, Mercury retrograde, I swear. But you are capable of this. Not that it's easy, right? But you are capable of achieving that inner peace. And the more that you really get to the fact of the matter, right? It's talking about believability. I hope somebody is getting this. Then you stay built up in those moments, from moment to moment to moment, that all is well. Next thing you know, the universe is saying, yep, and it's like a whole choir of all is well for you. All is well for you. So next thing you know, you go, 3 days, I got plenty of time to manifest a new car even, right? Like it's really depending upon your believability about this though. Just saying, okay? Trying to help somebody. I hope somebody got that one. We're almost done here, and I'm going to ring the bell. I want to be sure that I spoke on all aspects of this. You definitely should check into the root and sacral chakras, okay? Check for blockages. Listen to frequencies that assist with those particular chakras. Because with this like self-conflicting type of energy, this double-mindedness, this fear, ego-based imbalance, okay? Hold on one second, guys, because that was not... Hold on one second, you guys. Are you guys... I'm going to end the live because I'm hearing gunshots. Okay, so... Be safe, okay? Sorry, obviously didn't plan for that, but I want to make sure that yeah, I gotta go. Well, the light...